and takes a call.
I call Dr. Megan Woods.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and I'm pleased to take a call on this bill. What we're seeing here today is that we're picking the pockets of our kids to fund an ideas deficit from the members opposite. They've delivered a budget today that offers zero hope, zero ideas and a zero future for young people in New Zealand. 6 months, only 6 months after re-election, this government has completely given up on its brighter future. It's quietly slinking away from any idea of aspiration, and all it can do is tinker around the edges as it stumbles towards being thrown out of office in 2014. But all I can say to the members opposite, wait till the kids whose pockets you started picking today till they come of voting age. They're going to be angry, and we've got a sure source of voters there. This government is spent, it's out of ideas, and it knows that its 2010 tax switch was a failure. And now all it can do is tinker around the edges and try and fix things up. And this is just a straight-out revenue grab. I talked in an earlier contribution on this bill about the stunning economic policy we're seeing from the national government rolled out this term and in their previous term that started, and David Parker mentioned this in his contribution tonight, it started with their cycle way, failure, no jobs. Then there was the holiday highway. That stimulated the economy. But hang on, that's right, none of the jobs that was not all of the jobs that were promised in the last budget eventuated. And then today we have this stunner, third part in the trilogy, the paper route, the taking it to the kids and taking the money off them. These are not the taxation issues that we should be talking about tonight. We should be talking about taxation and about how that can be used to stimulate our economy. We're told by members opposite that they don't want to be talking about the things that aren't important to our nation. Well, put something in the budget that is, instead of taking money out of the pockets of our children. For 4 years, Labor has been imploring National to put children at the centre of its policy, to do something about the 270,000 Kiwi kids who live in poverty. That's 1 in 4, or 25% of them. But we didn't mean this in terms of putting children at the centre of your policy. We didn't mean go away and come up with a taxation policy that seeks to put your hands into their pockets and take away their pocket money. We didn't mean this. But as I've also talked about, one can only imagine the thinking that got the National Party and its coalition partners to here. They're thinking 14 million. We really need 14 millions. They're those bludgeon kids. We need to go after them again. For too long, they've had it too easy. They don't pay for their own accommodation. They're on the take, they're demanding an education, and you know what, when they get a bit older they might even want to go on and do postgraduate training. We can't let that happen, so we need to make sure that they know they don't have a future in this country. What are they thinking, that there's too many grubby little hands looking for a hand up? This is the party that talks of aspiration, and this is a joke. This is just kids who are working hard, and what the members opposite don't understand is actually the income that these kids are receiving, and it's being chortled away at what a small pittance this money is. But this income is important to these kids, and it is important to their families. Frighteningly, increasingly, this money is becoming part of household budgets in this country and becoming important parts of the household budget and making ends meet. One of the things that I think is interesting in the regulatory impact statement, we see that the credit is received by approximately 68,600 children, averaging $240. But the regulatory impact statement does go on to note that the tax credit does not apply to income from interest or dividends, meaning a child must pay tax on the first dollar of income from these sources. So, for the members opposite, is this about equality? Is this about thinking the working children are just getting a bit of a break and you need to bring them into line? This is just not fair.
I call Dr. Yang.
Mr. Chair, I move that the question be now put.
Sir William Seo.
Mr.